Welcome back to the channel. Attention all coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history buffs. What if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin, something you've probably overlooked, could be worth a fortune? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of US coinage to reveal the top 10 most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies that are worth millions of dollars. These rare treasures could be hiding in plain sight, maybe even in your pocket change. Today, we're going to talk about an extraordinary and highly sought-after coin that might just be hiding in plain sight. We're talking about the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. Yes, a humble 1-cent coin that could be worth up to $67,209 in today's market. Now, let's start from the beginning. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin became an iconic piece of American numismatics, and the wheat ears on the reverse symbolized national prosperity. The obverse featured a side profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design that still remains on our pennies today. Fast forward to the year 1945, World War II had just come to an end, and the United States Mint was still producing coins using wartime materials and strategies. This particular penny, the 1945 D, was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark located just beneath the date on the obverse side of the coin. That year, over 266 million of these coins were minted, which might make you wonder, how can a coin that was produced in such high numbers be worth more than $67,000? Well, here's where the magic of numismatics comes in. While millions were made, only a few survived in pristine, gem-quality condition. Most coins entered circulation, suffered wear and tear, and lost their sharp details and original mint luster. The ones that didn't, the few that were preserved right from the start, untouched and flawless, are now considered rare numismatic treasures. Collectors are always willing to pay a premium for coins in mint state, especially those that are graded MS67 or higher by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. Now let's talk about why the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is worth so much money. In recent years, a top-grade example of this coin sold for an astounding $67,209 at auction. That's right, a penny that originally cost 1 cent ended up selling for more than the price of a luxury car or even a down payment on a home. The reason for such a high value comes down to a combination of factors: historical significance, collector demand, exceptional condition, and rarity at the highest grades. To break it down further, here's what collectors are looking for. First is the strike quality. Coins struck with strong, clean impressions are always more desirable. Second is the luster. Original mint luster that hasn't been dulled by handling or exposure to the elements is key. Third is the overall preservation. No scratches, nicks, discoloration, or signs of wear. A 1945 D penny that checks all these boxes and receives a certified grade of MS67 red is extremely rare and valuable. But even if you don't have a $67,000 coin sitting in your collection, the 1945 D penny can still be worth some serious money. In average circulated condition, it may fetch anywhere from 10 cents to a few dollars depending on the quality. In uncirculated condition, you could be looking at $20 to several $100s. It's only those top-tier examples, the ones that are virtually flawless, that reach the 5-figure and even 6-figure mark. What's really interesting is that even small varieties or errors in 1945 D pennies can add extra value. For example, a coin with a repunched mint mark, known as RPM, where the D was stamped more than once slightly off-center, can increase its worth significantly to collectors. These mint errors are highly collectible and often found through close inspection using magnifying tools. So if you have a jar full of old coins lying around, now might be the perfect time to start checking your pennies. Look for that 1945 date, and then check for the small D mint mark underneath. Then examine the condition. Is it shiny and sharp or worn and dull? If it looks nearly perfect, you might just have something special. You can even send your coin to a reputable grading service to get an official assessment and certification, which will increase its marketability and value if it turns out to be high grade. And let's not forget the historical value of this coin. Minted in the final year of World War II, the 1945 penny represents a pivotal moment in American and world history. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of that past, a reminder of the resilience of a nation emerging from war, rebuilding itself and moving into a new era of peace and prosperity. As of today, the highest recorded market value for the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny is $67,209, and with increasing interest in vintage coins, this value may climb even higher. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual hobbyist, or someone just getting started, this coin is a symbol of how something small can have enormous historical and monetary value. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny, a 1-cent coin that has captured the attention of collectors across the world and continues to rise in value. Keep your eyes open, check your change, and who knows, you might just strike gold with copper. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to discover more rare and valuable coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a 1945 penny or any other valuable coin. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep searching, because that next coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you've ever dreamed of finding a small coin that could make you rich, you're going to love today's video. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny, a seemingly ordinary 1-cent coin that could be worth up to $49,288 in today's collector market. That's right, this small copper coin, often overlooked in pocket change, might just be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and let's explore the fascinating world of the 1949 Wheat penny. First, let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln Wheat penny series was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features Lincoln's bust on the obverse, or front, and a pair of wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and since then, it has become one of the most beloved and widely collected coins in American history. Now fast forward to the year 1949. America was still recovering from World War II, and the country was entering a period of economic growth. During this year, the U.S. Mint struck Lincoln cents at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But today, we're zooming in on the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. While millions of these coins were produced, approximately 217 million, only a small number have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition, and that's where the real value comes into play. You might be wondering, how can a coin that was produced in the hundreds of millions be worth nearly $50,000? Great question. The value of any coin depends on several key factors: rarity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. For the 1949 no-mint mark Wheat penny, condition is absolutely everything. Most of these coins were used in daily commerce and suffered years of wear and tear. But if you happen to find one in mint state condition, particularly grades like MS66, MS67, or higher, you could be holding on to a true numismatic treasure. Let's talk about the coin's design details so you can know exactly what to look for. On the front of the coin, you'll see a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust." At the top, Liberty, to the left, and the date, 1949, on the right. Since it has no mint mark, there will be no letter beneath the date. That's the key sign it was struck in Philadelphia. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the reverse features the words, 1 cent, in large letters. United States of America. Beneath that, and the Latin motto, E pluribus unum. At the top, all flanked by 2 wheat stalks curving along the edges. That's why these coins are called wheat pennies, and collectors absolutely love them. Now, let's get into the value, the part you've been waiting for. A typical worn 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny found in pocket change is worth around 2 to 5 cents, slightly more than face value. But don't be discouraged. The magic happens when the coin is found in high grades, especially those certified by top grading services like PCGS or NGC. A brilliant red, uncirculated example in MS67 red condition has sold for as much as $49,288 at auction. That's life-changing money for a coin that once bought a piece of candy. The current market demand for high-grade wheat pennies is stronger than ever, with collectors and investors both looking to own a piece of American history. The 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in top condition is especially desirable because it's part of the post-war era, a time that shaped modern America. Combine that with the beautiful design and the rarity of pristine examples, and you have a coin that's destined to rise in value over time. But there's more. You should also keep an eye out for error coins, pennies with misstrikes, double dies, off-center strikes, or even clipped planchets. These kinds of mint errors can increase the value dramatically. In some cases, a 1949 penny with a significant mint error can sell for thousands of dollars, even if it's not in perfect condition. So, how can you find one of these valuable coins? Start by checking your change. Go through those old jars of coins you have lying around. Ask your parents or grandparents if they have any old rolls of pennies. Visit flea markets, estate sales, and garage sales. You'd be amazed at how many valuable coins are hiding in plain sight. And if you think you've found a good candidate, be sure to handle it carefully. Never clean the coin, as that can reduce its value. Use soft gloves or hold it by the edges, and consider having it graded by a professional service. Let's recap. The 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny may seem like just another old coin, but in pristine condition, it could be worth up to $49,288. That's because of its historical significance, scarcity in high grades, and collector demand. If you're a coin collector or just someone curious about what treasures might be hiding in your pocket change, this is one coin you don't want to overlook. And there you have it, folks. The story of a penny that's worth more than some cars, vacations, or even a down payment on a house. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a 1949 penny or want help identifying your own coin. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, and may your next penny be worth a fortune. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden gems sitting right in your pocket change. And today, we've got a real treat for you, a coin that may look small, rusty, and ordinary, but could actually be worth a fortune. That's right, we're diving deep into the legendary 1950 Lincoln wheat penny, a 1-cent coin that has stunned the coin collecting world with its skyrocketing value and rare historical appeal. In fact, one specimen of this coin has sold for as much as $50,000 in the current market. Yes, you heard that right. $50,000 for a single penny. So if you've got a jar of old coins lying around, you're going to want to check each and every one of them after this video, because one of them might just change your life. Now let's rewind the clock and talk a little bit about the history of this iconic coin. The 1950 wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the small D mint mark found just below the year. That year, nearly 334 million of these coins were minted, which might make you wonder, if there were so many made, why is it so valuable today? That's a great question, and the answer lies not just in mintage numbers, but in condition, rarity of errors, and demand among collectors. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln wheat penny was designed by Victor David Brenner and was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The wheat stalks on the reverse side symbolized prosperity and unity, and this design continued until 1958. By 1950, America was just emerging from the shadows of World War II and entering a time of economic growth. The coins minted during this era carried with them the optimism of a new decade and the craftsmanship of an earlier generation. But not every 1950 penny is worth thousands. What sets the valuable ones apart? Let's break it down. First, let's talk condition. A 1950 penny found in circulation today is likely worn down, scratched, or discolored. But collectors are on the hunt for mint state coins. That means pennies that have never been in circulation, showing no signs of wear, sharp details, and full original luster. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A penny graded MS-67 read by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC can command tens of thousands of dollars. Why? Because at that level, the coin looks exactly as it did the day it left the mint, flawless, bright, and pristine. Next, let's talk rarity. Although over 300 million were struck, the vast majority were either spent into circulation or hoarded in bags and jars. Fewer than a few thousand examples exist in ultra-high mint state grades today. And even fewer exhibit perfect coloration, no carbon spots, and full strike definition. These are the elite coins, the ones that show up in auction houses and blow everyone's minds when the bidding goes wild. Now, errors also add huge value to the 1950 penny. Collectors love mistakes, things like off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, or clipped planchets. For example, a 1950 penny with a noticeable double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's profile or the lettering appears double due to a misalignment during the minting process, can fetch thousands more. Combine that with a high grade, and you've got a coin worth its weight in gold, well, figuratively speaking. And here's where it gets even more exciting: current market demand. Over the last decade, coin collecting has surged in popularity. Investors, collectors, and even casual hobbyists are scrambling to find top-grade specimens of classic coins like the 1950 penny. This has caused values to climb steeply. What might have sold for a few $100s 20 years ago now sells for several thousand. In 2025, the record sale for a pristine, certified 1950 penny in MS-67 red condition hit an incredible $50,000 at a major coin auction. That's not a typo, $50,000 for 1 cent, so how do you know if you have one of these gems? First, pull out a magnifying glass and examine your coin carefully. Look for that small D just under the date. That stands for Denver Mint. Then look at the coin's surface. Does it still shine like new? Are the details sharp, especially Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse? If so, it may be worth sending to a grading service for professional evaluation. Also, check for any signs of doubling on the letters. Liberty, in God we trust, or the date. If you see it, you could be looking at a double die. Next, flip the coin over and look for a strong, centered strike on the wheat ears, clean lines, and no significant damage. These are all good signs of value. Now you might be asking, how do I sell a valuable coin like this? Great question. If you suspect your 1950 penny is valuable, your best bet is to get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Once it's graded, you can list it in major coin auctions like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or even sell through high-end dealers or collectors' forums. Just make sure to avoid pawn shops or casual buyers. They often won't offer full market value. And here's a bonus tip: if you're serious about coin collecting, start learning how to spot high-grade coins from the rest. The better your eye becomes, the higher the chances you'll find a rare coin in everyday change or coin rolls. Yes, roll hunting is a real thing, and some collectors have literally pulled $1,000 coins from bank rolls. All it takes is time, patience, and a sharp EYE.SO to recap. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny might look like a regular old penny, but in the right condition, and with the right features, it can be worth $50,000 or more. That's the kind of find that turns an ordinary day into an unforgettable one. Whether you're a lifelong collector or just getting started, this is one coin you should definitely look out for. Go check those old jars, dig through your change, and maybe, just maybe, you'll uncover your very own treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more videos on rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, And hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about the next coin that could be worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, and may your next penny be worth thousands. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of one of the most sought-after pennies in the world of numismatics, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark. You might be surprised to learn that this small copper coin, often overlooked in spare change, can be worth up to $39,878 in today's market. That's right, almost $40,000 for a single penny. But how is that possible? Let's find out as we explore its history, hidden features, collector appeal, and current market value. Make sure to watch till the end. You don't want to miss what makes this coin so valuable. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not include a mint mark on coins at that time. This penny is part of the classic Lincoln Wheat series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, side. This design was created to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it became the first time a real person, especially a former U.S. president, was featured on a regular issue American coin. On the reverse side of the 1953 wheat penny, you'll see two wheat stalks curling along the left and right edges of the coin. These ears of wheat, along with the words 1 cent and United States of America, give the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. Just above the denomination, the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, is etched, a traditional motto meaning, out of many one. Now, what makes the 1953 no mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny so valuable? After all, over 256 million of these coins were produced in Philadelphia in that year, so they're not exactly rare by mintage numbers alone. However, several factors come into play. The true value of this coin depends heavily on condition, rarity in high grades, and the presence of rare varieties or die flaws that collectors covet. Let's first talk about condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A heavily circulated 1953 penny in good or very good condition might only be worth a few cents to a few dollars. But if you happen to find one in mint state condition, especially MS65 or higher, the value can rise exponentially. In fact, an MS67 Red RD example is among the most valuable of its kind and has fetched as much as $39,878 at auction. Why? Because coins with vibrant, original red luster are rare survivors from that era. Over time, most copper pennies darken and develop a brown patina, so a bright red coin from 1953 is truly exceptional. Next, let's talk about errors and varieties. These can dramatically increase a coin's value. Collectors are always on the lookout for double die obverse, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other unique manufacturing anomalies. A 1953 no mint mark penny with a visible double strike or doubling on Lincoln's eye or lettering can command thousands of dollars more than its face value. Even tiny imperfections, when authenticated and graded professionally, can make all the difference in value. So, how do you know if you have a rare and valuable 1953 wheat penny? Start by examining the color and condition. Is it brown, or bright red? A red coin in mint state could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Next, look for any visible errors under magnification. Doubling, misalignments, or other striking irregularities should be authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Coins that are officially graded, encapsulated, and certified fetch the highest prices on the open market. Now let's take a look at real market examples. In a recent high-profile auction, a 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny graded MS67 Plus red by PCGS sold for an eye-popping $39,878. This sale stunned many in the coin community and reaffirmed the importance of quality, luster, and rarity. Only a few coins have been preserved in such pristine condition, and collectors were willing to pay top dollar to own such a masterpiece. And that brings us to the current market value of the 1953 no mint mark penny. Here's a quick breakdown of what you can expect. In circulated condition, most 1953 pennies are worth between 5 and 50 cents, depending on where in tone. In uncirculated condition, especially MS60 to MS64, the value can range from $5 to $100. In MS65 red, values can jump to $300 to $500. In MS66 red, prices soar to $1,000 to $2,500, and at MS67 red and higher, especially with full luster and clean fields, you're looking at $10,000 to nearly $40,000 in today's market. It's incredible to think that a small copper coin, nearly 70 years old, can be worth so much today. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, it's worth taking a second look at that jar of old change. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1953 Lincoln wheat penny? First, handle it carefully, preferably with gloves, to avoid damage or oils from your fingers. Place it in a protective coin flip or holder. Then, take clear photos and consider submitting it to a reputable grading service. If your coin comes back with a high grade or certified error, you could be holding a coin worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Before we wrap up, here's a quick pro tip. Keep an eye out not only for mint condition coins, but also for coins with strong, clear strikes, full details on Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks, and any signs of original mint luster. These little details could be the key to unlocking a fortune in your coin collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1953 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny and want to see more rare coin profiles like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another coin treasure reveal. Who knew 1 cent could be worth nearly $40,000? Start looking in your pocket change today. You might just get lucky. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck treasure hunting. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, could this be worth more than a penny? Well, hold on tight, because today we're diving deep into the story of the 1945 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Yes, one of these tiny copper coins recently shocked the coin collecting world with a value of $78,297. That's right, nearly $80,000 for a single penny. But why? How did it become so valuable? And how can you tell if you have one? Let's uncover the mystery right now. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most fascinating coins in American history. Struck during the final year of World War II, this coin carries not just monetary value, but a piece of America's wartime legacy. These pennies were minted in large numbers, with production at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The one we're talking about today has no mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia, and it's not just any old penny. Some rare examples have become highly sought after by collectors and investors alike, skyrocketing in value beyond imagination. Let's travel back to 1945. The world was at war. Soldiers were fighting overseas, families back home were planting victory gardens, rationing goods, and saving every resource they could. Even coin production was affected by the war. Copper, for example, was a critical material for making ammunition. In fact, in 1943, pennies were made from steel coated in zinc instead of copper because of the shortage. But by 1945, copper had returned to the penny, and this specific year's coinage reflected the post-war optimism and resilience of a nation ready for peace. Design and features. The 1945 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, designed by Victor David Brenner. This was the first American coin to depict a real historical figure, introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse side carries the famous wheat ears design, 2 stalks of wheat on either side of the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above that, you'll find the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. It's simple, elegant, and powerfully symbolic. Why it's so valuable? So what makes this 1945 Lincoln wheat penny worth over $78,000? The answer lies in its condition, rarity, and demand. Most 1945 pennies are common and worth only a few cents. But when you find one in mint state condition, with sharp details, no wear, perfect color, and full luster, its value climbs steeply. Collectors pay a premium for coins that look like they were struck yesterday, and in the case of one incredibly well-preserved 1945 Philadelphia penny, a bidding war drove the price to a jaw-dropping $78,297 at auction. Coin grading plays a major role in value. Graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, coins are rated from 1, poor, to 70, perfect mint state. The record-setting 1945 penny was graded MS67 plus red, meaning it was in near-perfect condition with its original reddish copper shine. Only a handful of these coins exist in such pristine quality, making them ultra-rare and highly collectible. Imagine holding a coin that's over 75 years old and still looks brand new. That's what excites collectors and drives prices into the stratosphere. Era varieties and other valuable types. Now here's something even more exciting. Some 1945 pennies have errors or varieties that make them even more desirable. For example, there are pennies with off-center strikes, double die verse, and even lamination errors, where the metal layers flake or split. These flaws occurred during the minting process and are extremely rare. Depending on the severity and clarity of the error, some of these coins can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars, even if they're not in perfect condition. So, always check your change carefully. How to tell if you have one. So how can you find out if your 1945 penny is a hidden gem? First, look at the mint mark. If it has no mint mark, that means it's from Philadelphia, which is good. Next, check the color. Bright red coins are worth more than brown or dull ones. Then, examine the details. Are Lincoln's features crisp? Can you see every line of the wheat stalks? No scratches, no nicks, no discoloration? That's even better. Finally, consider having your coin professionally graded. It's the only way to know for sure what it's worth in the market. Current market value. As of now, top grade 1945 no mint mark Lincoln wheat pennies have fetched between $5,000 and $78,297, depending on the grade and appeal. Even lower grade mint state coins, say MS64 or MS65, can be worth several $100s or more. And those with rare errors? They can easily go into the 4 or 5-figure range. The coin market is alive and booming, with auctions regularly breaking new records. If you think rare coins are just for museums, think again. Some of the most valuable ones are sitting in pocket change, old jars, or forgotten drawers. If you're a collector, make sure to store your coins properly in airtight holders or coin flips to prevent damage. Keep them away from moisture and don't clean them. Cleaning a coin can actually destroy its value. If you're thinking of selling a coin, consider getting it graded and then listing it through reputable auction houses or dealers. And if you're just curious about your collection, do your research, watch the market, and don't be afraid to ask questions in coin forums and communities. The 1945 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is more than just a piece of metal. It's a story, a symbol, a slice of American history with the potential to change your life, if you're lucky enough to find the right one. With a recent sale of $78,297, it proves that hidden treasures still exist, and sometimes, they're just one penny away. So, the next time you get change at the grocery store, or go through your coin jar, remember this: one copper coin, just one, could be your lucky day. Don't overlook the ordinary, because inside that ordinary penny might be an extraordinary fortune. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos about valuable coins and hidden treasures. Got an old penny you want to ask about? Drop a comment below. I'd love to help. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1957 D-Mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. This seemingly ordinary 1-cent coin could be worth thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, up to $23,757 in today's coin market. So grab your magnifying glasses and let's explore why this humble penny is creating such a buzz among collectors. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and it quickly became a symbol of American values and pride. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side showcases the profile of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse side features two stylized wheat stalks encircling the words, 1 cent, hence the name, Wheat Penny. Now, let's fast forward to 1957, a year rich in post-war optimism, Elvis Presley topping the charts, and the Cold War dominating headlines. In that year, the Denver Mint struck over 1.05 billion Lincoln Wheat Pennies. That's right, more than 1 billion coins were minted with the little D mint mark below the date. So how does a coin minted in such high numbers become so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of condition, rarity in pristine states, and a few fascinating errors and varieties. First, let's talk about coin condition, also known as grade in the numismatic world. A 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny that has been in circulation, passed from hand to hand, and suffered the scratches and wear of everyday life is typically worth just a few cents to maybe a couple dollars. However, if you happen to have a 1957 D penny that is in mint state condition, meaning it looks just as shiny and perfect as the day it left the mint, it can be worth much, much more. Especially rare are coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These coins have razor-sharp details, blazing luster, and virtually no contact marks. They are the cream of the crop and often command premium prices. And here's where it gets exciting. In a recent auction, a 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny graded MS67 Plus Red sold for an astonishing $23,757. That's nearly $24,000 for a 1-cent coin. So how do you know if you have a valuable one? Start by checking the coin's color and surface. Professional graders use 3 color designations for copper coins: brown, BN, red-brown, RB, and red RD. Coins that retain their original red color from when they were freshly minted are the most desirable and command the highest prices. Most pennies turn brown over time due to oxidation, but if your 1957 D still shines with that fiery red luster, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Next, look for any errors or unusual features. Error coins are coins that were minted with mistakes, and collectors go crazy for them. Some examples of valuable errors found on 1957 D Wheat pennies include double die obverse, DDO, where elements like the date and lettering appear doubled; repunched mint marks, RPM, where the D was stamped more than once and shows a slight overlap; and off-center strikes, where the design is visibly misaligned. These rare errors can significantly increase a coin's value, sometimes reaching into the thousands depending on severity and condition. Now let's talk about rarity and population. Even though over 1 billion of these coins were minted, very few have survived in pristine, high-grade condition. Most were used for everyday purchases, stashed in jars, or worn down over decades of circulation. Only a tiny percentage of these coins, especially those that were never used and carefully preserved, exist in the elite MS67 Plus red grade. That rarity creates intense demand and drives the price up, especially among advanced collectors trying to complete a perfect set. The story of the 1957 D Wheat Penny is also tied to the end of an era. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design was replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial Reverse to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That means 1957 was one of the final years of the classic wheat reverse design. This gives the coin added nostalgic value and historical significance, making it even more attractive to collectors. So if you have a jar of old pennies lying around, or you enjoy visiting garage sales, flea markets, or estate sales, now's the time to take a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. A single 1957 D Wheat penny in near-perfect condition with brilliant red color and no visible wear could transform into a 5-figure payday. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about money, but about uncovering stories, preserving history, and finding hidden gems. To sum it up, the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat penny might seem common at first glance, but the reality is much more exciting. With a rich backstory, significant minting details, the potential for rare errors, and extreme value in top condition, this 1-cent coin has earned its place among the most sought-after pennies in U.S. history. And with a current market value of $23,757 for top-graded examples, it's no wonder collectors are always on the hunt. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to learn more about valuable coins, rare errors, and the treasures you might have in your own collection, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let me know in the comments, do you have a 1957 D Lincoln penny in your collection? Have you ever come across any coin worth more than $1,000? Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, and keep checking your change. You never know when a single penny might change your life. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel that dives deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you love the thrill of discovering hidden gems in your pocket change or coin jar, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about a remarkable coin, one that's nearly 70 years old and could be sitting unnoticed in your collection right now. It's the 1954 D Lincoln Wheat penny, a coin that was once just a humble cent in someone's pocket. But today, one rare example of this coin is turning heads in the collector's market with a jaw-dropping value of $92,939. That's right, less than $1 away from $93,000. So, how did this copper coin become so incredibly valuable? What makes it special? And how can you tell if you have one of these golden ticket pennies? Don't skip a second, because we're about to unravel the entire story of the 1954 D Wheat penny, its history, minting details, varieties, errors, and most importantly, how you could be holding on to a small fortune. Let's take it back to the year 1954. Dwight D. Eisenhower was president. Elvis Presley was just about to take over the radio waves, and America was booming in the post-war era. In the world of U.S. coinage, the Lincoln Wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was still the go-to design for the 1-cent piece. This design was first introduced in 1909, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, in honor of the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It featured the 16th President of the United States on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat surrounding the words 1 cent on the reverse, hence the name Wheat penny. By 1954, this iconic design had already been in circulation for over 40 years, and though it would only continue for a few more years, until the switch to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, the 1954 issues hold a special place in numismatic history. Now, let's zoom in on the 1954 D Wheat penny. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of 3 major mints in operation at the time alongside Philadelphia and San Francisco. In total, the Denver Mint produced approximately 251 million Lincoln cents in 1954. That's a huge number, which means most 1954 D pennies aren't rare at all in average circulated condition. So, you might be asking, if there were over 250 million of these coins made, how can one of them be worth more than $90,000? Excellent question, and the answer lies in the condition, rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. Why this coin is valuable, let's break it down. Condition is everything in the coin world. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from poor P1 to perfect mint state, MS70. Most 1954 D Wheat pennies you'll find today are heavily circulated, with wear and tear that lowers their value. But one example of this coin was found in an incredible mint state 67 plus red, MS67 plus RD, condition, almost flawless, with its original luster intact. This is an incredibly rare grade for a coin of this age. In fact, only a handful of 1954 D Wheat pennies are known to exist in such pristine condition, and they are extremely sought after by elite collectors trying to complete perfect sets of Lincoln cents. On top of that, some 1954 D Wheat pennies have mint errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, BI errors, where a small die chip appears between the B and E in Liberty, and repunched mint marks. RPMs? These kinds of errors can increase a coin's value dramatically, especially when combined with a high grade. But the 1954 wheat penny that sold for $92,939 stood out for its remarkable preservation and color quality. The red designation means it kept its original red copper hue from when it was minted. It's basically the equivalent of finding a vintage car from 1954 with zero rust, original paint, and barely any mileage, market demand and record sale. So when and where did this incredible sale happen? The record-breaking 1954 wheat penny was auctioned through Heritage Auctions, one of the leading numismatic auction houses in the world. It was certified by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, as an MS67 Plus RD, a nearly perfect coin with its original mint red color, no visible flaws, and sharp details. Collectors bid fiercely for this beauty, and in the end, the hammer came down at $92,939. Yes, for a single penny. Why would someone pay so much for 1 cent? It's all about rarity and registry sets. Advanced collectors often compete to build the best possible sets of coins, and a coin like this can elevate an entire registry collection. It's like having a rare baseball card in mint condition. Only a few exist, and serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar. How to identify one? So, what should you be looking for? Start by checking the date and mint mark. It should read 1954 D. You'll find the D under the date, just below Lincoln's shoulder. Then, examine the condition of the coin. Does it still have that bright reddish copper color? Does it look shiny with no scratches or dull spots? If so, you might be holding a red RD example. If it's brown or darker, it's still valuable, just not as much. Next, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and check for possible errors like repunched mint mark (RPM), where the D appears to have been stamped more than once. Double die verse (DDO), where you can see a doubling in the date or lettering. Die chips or cracks, especially in the word Liberty or around Lincoln's bust. Finally, if you think you've got something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade certification can multiply your coin's value exponentially. Now let's talk about other possible values. If your 1954 Lincoln wheat penny is in average circulated condition, it might be worth only 3 to 10 cents, still cool, but nothing to retire on. However, a coin in mint state, MS60 to MS65, can range from $5 to $250 depending on color and clarity. Coins graded MS66 or higher, especially with that brilliant red color, are where the big bucks live. At MS67 RD, prices can climb to $5,000 to $10,000. But as we've seen, that one rare MS67 Plus RD example brought home a whopping $92,939. So what's the takeaway? The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny is a common coin in circulation, but in rare condition, with the right color, and certified by a top grading service, it can become one of the most valuable wheat pennies ever sold. A coin that once bought a piece of bubble gum might now buy you a luxury car, or even a house. Check your coin jars, search those rolls from the bank, and take a closer look at your childhood coin albums. You never know. Your next great find could be a small copper coin that's worth a small fortune. And there you have it, the incredible story of the 1954 Lincoln wheat penny that sold for nearly $93,000. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a 1954 wheat penny or any other valuable coin. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting!